We are back here in Madden 25 franchise mode with another speed rebuild, and today we are doing the Kansas City Chiefs. So today I have the challenge of trying to turn the Kansas City Chiefs into a Super Bowl contending team once again in just 5 minutes. And before I jump into this speed rebuild here, I will go over the roster real quick. So as you guys might be able to see, I am using the updated rosters. However, I'm not sure if these are 100% up to date. I know they have all the rookies and most of the free agent signings and everything like that. So I know for the most part, this roster is pretty much fully updated. There might be a few moves that are missing here and there, but for the most part, I would say it's probably about like 98.9% accurate. So we'll take that. But yeah, this team is an 86 overall. 88 offense, 85 defense. So yeah, this team is already in pretty good shape before I even make a single move. Of course, we have a 95 overall quarterback with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce in at 99 overall. And on top of that, we do have Chris Jones in at 97 overall on that defensive line, as well as Trent McDuffie, 94 overall as our cornerback one. So yeah, like I said, before we make even a single move, this roster already is looking very good, 86 overall. I know that's not the highest rated team in the league, but I'm pretty sure it's like top 5, I would imagine, because I know like the Ravens, Eagles, Lions are like the top 3. And then I'm pretty sure the 49ers have a really high rated team. So I don't know, I think the Chiefs at 86 overall would be like top 5, top 7, somewhere around there. But yeah, I won't bore you guys with a yap fest. I think we should go ahead and jump right into this 5-minute rebuild. Normally when I do speed rebuilds, I do 10 minutes, but I already did a 10-minute one with the Chiefs, so now I'm challenging myself a little bit with a 5-minute one. And just a little bit of clarification, this is a 1-season simulation, so pretty much all of my draft picks, well, I would say all of my draft picks within the first 4 rounds of all 3 years need to get traded, because otherwise I'm just wasting value essentially, because if I don't trade them, then they just go to waste, because like I said, this is just a 1-season thing. So trading all of my draft picks as well as all of the younger players for better players is key, and that's pretty much the main strategy, is just trying to get the highest rated players possible. Even if you are making trades that are unrealistic, the main goal is just to have the highest rated team for this 1-season simulation. But yeah, with that being said, I think we should go ahead and get right into this. Alright, so with that being said, we will go ahead and start this time right here in 3, 2, 1. Okay, 5 minutes on the clock. So what I want to do first is upgrade this offensive line. And then I think we do need another wide receiver. One, maybe that's like an 87 or higher, I would say. But I can't spend a lot of time talking about it. We got to like actually make moves. So Deion Dawkins is a guy, 88 overall. He might actually be a little too hard to get. What about Connor McGovern, and then maybe move him to guard? So maybe Spencer Brown. He's a little younger, so he might be, I guess we'll see if he's too difficult to get. So we'll just toss up, I would say, a 2nd and a 3rd. Let's just see how far does this get me. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay, so we'll just move on. We don't really have time to waste, so Mike McGlinchey, could we get him? And then, yeah, we're not going to be able to get Garrett Bowles. So what about Cortland Sutton? Trade with a division rival here. And then a safety. Could we get like Brandon Jones maybe? I don't know. Let's just see. If I threw in like a 2nd and 2 thirds, this probably is not enough, but let's just see. Yeah, that's like barely any of the way. So we'll throw in Marquise Brown, and then we can throw in, let's say, Jawan Taylor, because I'll probably trade for someone that's a higher overall anyways. And then Brian Cook. Let's just see how far without any picks. Okay, that's decent. Maybe like a 2nd and a 3rd would get this to go through. Maybe, possibly. So close. Okay, if I threw in this 7th, this should go through. Okay, I was wrong. What about this 5th? Does this go through? Trading with a division rival. Huge pickups there from the Denver Broncos. We have 3 minutes to go though, so we need to make a move quick. So we got a wide receiver, we got a tackle. We do still need another tackle and a guard. So yeah, we got to get on that. And then an interior defensive lineman would be nice. So we can trade Charles Omenihu, and then like maybe another corner, and another safety. Okay, so we got to make some moves quick here. So a guard, could we get Will Fries? And then actually that's not going to happen. Okay, so what about Cam Robinson, I would take him, Titus Howard, just to be like starters. And then they don't really have interior guys here, do they? Okay, what about a safety? Jalen Petrie, we could get him. Actually, CJ Gardner-Johnson is very easy to trade for, so we'll see if we can grab him. So Jaden Hicks, we'll put him in the deal. And then that guy, I do not know how to pronounce that name. So, and then a third. This might actually go through. Okay, I was way incorrect. So we'll just toss in a first rounder. There's 2 minutes to go, and that doesn't even go through. Okay, so another third. Like, we have 2 minutes to go, so we really need these trades to go through. You're actually kidding me. Okay, what about next year's second? For this package, this better go through. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we got just under 2 minutes to go now, and I still have 2 first round picks to trade, so we can get really aggressive in these last 2 minutes here. So I would say, like, running back we could improve, but the Chiefs' offensive playbook rarely uses the running back, so I'm not too concerned about that. Offensive line is complete. We need an interior defensive lineman, and then we could use another corner. I would say it's not like a need though, so I don't know. Let's just see what we can do. We got 2 first round picks and a minute to work with. So Grady Jarrett, actually, if we could get him, and then I know Darnell Wright would be an improvement, so we'll just toss in. Wait, who's the left tackle I just traded? Yeah, Cam Robinson. So actually, could we get Jalen Johnson maybe? And just in this last minute, get very aggressive? I don't know. It's worth a try. Probably not, because these picks do not really have much value. Let's just see. Will this trade go through? Does not. Okay, so yeah, what about for Grady Jarrett and Darnell Wright? Does this trade go through? You're kidding. Okay, what about third, fourth, and then I'll have 30 seconds to make one more trade. There we go. Okay, if I could get a corner in these last 30 seconds with 2 first round picks, that would be clutch. Okay, so 1, 2, and then just best corner I can trade for in 20 seconds. Let's just see. Christian Benford. Actually, could I get Teron Johnson as well? And then, I don't know, like Joey Bosa. Let's just see. Will this go through? Okay, we'll take Joey Bosa out of the deal. Last trade. Oh, it's declined. Okay. 5 seconds, last trade. 2 first round picks for Christian Benford. We got the deal done. My timer is going off. There we go. All right, so a 5-minute rebuild of the Kansas City Chiefs. That went by very quick, but we did improve this team up to an 89 overall, 89 offense, 89 defense. So yeah, this team is improved, even though that was a very quick rebuild. That time went by a lot faster than I thought. I did do a Ravens 5-minute rebuild a couple months ago. I don't really remember how that one went just because it was so long ago, but that 5 minutes went by like really quick. But I really wish I used those first round picks a lot earlier, because using 2 first round picks on Christian Benford, like, granted, I guess the deal was worth it, because had I not traded them, then I would have just wasted them, but still, I wish I used them earlier, because maybe I could have gotten a little bit more value out of it. But regardless though, we're an 89 overall. This team is improved. We brought in Cortland Sutton. We improved this offensive line in a big way. We also added Grady Jarrett, Christian Benford, and CJ Gardner-Johnson, and Brandon Jones as well. Can't forget about him. So yeah, this team is very good. I'm going to stick with Chiefs offense and Chiefs defense, because I'm pretty sure the Chiefs defensive playbook is pretty good, and as we all know, the Chiefs offensive playbook is ridiculously good in Madden Sim, so there's really no point to mess with that. But yeah, this is what the team is looking like. Offense is looking elite, defense is looking elite as well, and yeah, I'm really confident in this team's ability to go on and hopefully win a Super Bowl this season. I think it's very possible. I think it could likely happen, but yapping about it won't do us any good. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and sim through the season. Well, before we do that, actually, we'll do a quick record prediction. I think with how good this Chiefs playbook is, and with a massively improved roster, I think 17-0 is a possibility. However, I'll say 14-3. That'll be my record prediction. If you guys want, you can comment yours, and without further ado, I'll go ahead and sim through the season. And as we advance towards the end of this season, if you guys have enjoyed this video, I do have a ton of other Madden 25 videos up on my channel, including other speed rebuilds like this. And also, College Football 26 is coming out very soon, so there will be content from me coming out with that when that comes out. But yeah, we go 12-5. We lose in the last week of the season to the Broncos, who we made a big trade with. So we do win the AFC West. The Broncos were right behind us, and so were the Chargers at 11-6. The Raiders go 9-8. So the AFC West was very competitive this season. We do lose out on the 1 seed by just 1 game. The Ravens going 13-4. They end up winning it. Patrick Mahomes, though, leads the league in passing yards and also 44 touchdowns. Courtland Sutton second place with receiving yards. So yeah, I don't usually go over stats in this. We're just going to take a quick glance. So yeah, great seasons for Patrick Mahomes and Courtland Sutton. Just out of curiosity, I don't normally do this, but let's just see. Did Patrick Mahomes win MVP? And he does. Wow, what a shocker. And let me guess, Courtland Sutton won Offensive Player. Oh no, it was actually Lamar Jackson. Okay, so Courtland Sutton was second place. That's a shocker. A Chiefs wide receiver not winning AFC Offensive Player of the Year. And just looking at team ranks, we had a very good season for everything outside of defensive pass yards. We were 20th with that, which is interesting considering Trent McDuffie, 85 overall Christian Benford, and then we have Christian Fulton in the slot, Brandon Jones and CJ Gardner-Johnson over top. But I guess we're just not a good pass defense this season. That's an interesting one. Top 10 against forcing points though, and then 6th place with defensive rush yards. We were the best passing offense in the league. 14th with rush yards, which granted, Chiefs playbook, those are never usually good. 7th with points per game though, whereas for the Bengals, they were very good with passing the ball. Of course, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, it's not too much of a surprise. And they were 4th with points. Outside of that, they really had nothing going for them. I mean, defensive rush yards, they did decent, but like, it could have been a lot better. They were the 2nd worst passing defense in the league, and they have to take on the best passing offense in the league. But granted, we also were not a good pass defense as well, but I mean, they were a lot worse than us, so that should give us a bit of an advantage. So we'll see if that advantage will lead to a win here in the wildcard round. And we do 34-24, so we're taking on the Indianapolis Colts here, who end up going 11-6, and they did win their division by 1 game. And the team ranks are glitched out, so it's just showing the Bengals won. That happens from time to time. It's been happening for a while, still has not been fixed. But yeah, the Colts are led by Jonathan Taylor, DeForest Buckner, Kenny Moore, and as well as quarterback. We got to actually see, is Daniel Jones starting for this team? I would imagine not, because I don't think his overall is very high. And okay, so no, it's Anthony Richardson. Vikings legend, Daniel Jones right behind him. But yeah, the Colts are an 83 overall, so they are a much lower overall team compared to the Bengals. Actually, I don't even remember what the Bengals overall was, because I didn't even like go over that. I probably should have, but I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, we'll see if the Colts can not beat us, if the Colts can lose to us 31-7. So yeah, we destroy the Colts and we go on to the AFC Championship game, taking on the Baltimore Ravens, who are a very good sim team in Madden 25. And as you guys can see, 2nd with points, 10th with pass yards, 1st with rush yards, averaging 123 yards per game. That's insane on the ground. 7th with points, 22nd against the pass, and 1st against the run. So yeah, this Ravens team is pretty good. And of course, they are led by Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Roquan Smith. We did not make a trade with the Ravens, I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty positive we didn't. But yeah, the Ravens, of course, they did go 13-4 and get the 1 seed, so they have home field advantage here. However, we do have the overall advantage in every single category. And speaking of which, we did play them in week 1. So I'm just curious, how did that game go? So we lost 34-40, but we also did lose to the Bengals and we beat them. Did we play the Colts this season? I don't think so. Let's just see. We didn't. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we lost to the Bengals, but we beat them. So hopefully we learned a thing or two since that Ravens game, and we can beat them and go on to the Super Bowl here. So with that being said, we will advance onto the Super Bowl and see if the Chiefs can return to the Super Bowl here in this, and we cannot get it done. It's the Ravens and 49ers, a rematch of that one Super Bowl when the lights went out. I don't remember which one it was. Man, that is really disappointing. We're a 91 overall, 92 offense, 91 defense, and we fall just short. That's frustrating. And just out of curiosity, we will check what was the score of that game. So we got blown out. Are you kidding me, dude? Dude, so the Broncos scored 17 more points than us. That is not real. Dude, Madden is not a real game. We gained 160 yards. Are you kidding me, dude? What in the world? Bro, we had 187 total yards. Oh my goodness, bro. This was horrible. So Patrick Mahomes threw for 105 yards. 3 interceptions, bro. So he had 12 completions. So that was like, what, 1 in every 4 passes was to the other team. Dude, who was he? 57 completion percent? What was going on, bro? That is actually insane. What were our rushing stats looking like? So Lamar Jackson had more rushing yards than our running back. Isaiah Pacheco. So let me get this straight. We had a quarterback who had 12 completions, and we decided we're only going to hand the ball off 9 times. What in the world was our offensive coordinator thinking? Goodness gracious, bro. So wait, we had 9 rushing attempts for Isaiah Pacheco, 3 for Patrick Mahomes, and he had 21 passing attempts. So we were not on offense a lot, clearly. Well, I mean, we're throwing interceptions. Clearly, we're not on offense a lot. What about fumbles? Were we fumbling? We weren't. So we just got completely outplayed. That's insane. That's actually like insanely frustrating, bro. We just got demolished by this team. Wow. Yeah, we didn't have a single sack or takeaway. That's a pretty easy way to lose a playoff game, but wow. So the Ravens go on to the Super Bowl to take on the 49ers. We'll just sim through the game just to see what happens. That's insane, man. So let's see, do the 49ers beat them? The 49ers have to do that. So the 49ers win 27-15. It's flipped for some reason. So yeah, Christian McCaffrey is the Super Bowl MVP. But yeah, that is going to be the end of the Kansas City Chiefs 5-minute speed rebuild. Very disappointing ending, but you know, we can't win them all. We got far, just not far enough. So with that being said, I'll probably be doing a Bills one within the next couple of days, so if you're interested, stay tuned for that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching all the way into the end. I really appreciate that. If you enjoyed, I do have a ton of other Madden 25 content up on my channel. If you're interested, feel free to check that out. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I will see y'all next time.